Hey guys, thanks for rocking with me again. Hey, listen, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys where to put your probate leads, where to put that information, okay? I'm also going to show you how to pull up an address. I'm going to show you how to pull up an address that's in the estate. So let's get straight into it. So the last probate we were working on was Evelyn Hennison. We got to take this information and put it somewhere. Now the system I use is Podio. You're going to be using a system that looks similar to this. And what you're going to be doing is going to the probate leads, which is this skull and crossbones. So you're going to click that, and then you're going to go to add probate leads. Now the estate name is Evelyn Hennison. And guys, I do a bunch of copying and pasting. I don't know about you, but I like to save time. So we're going to put that there. The estate number, no problem. I'm going to take that estate number from here, copy and paste. No big deal, right? No big deal. Copy and paste. All right, now the property address. Now, let me let you guys know when you're dealing in the estates, they don't have the property address on a plate for you. They're not like here. Here's the property on a plate, take it. You have to do your own due diligence. And a lot of people don't like to do their due diligence. This what puts us above the rest of our competitors because we will go that extra mile so we can find the property so that when we reach out to these people, we can let them know. We can say, hey, look, Miss Evelyn, or her family members. You have a property here. We're interested in purchasing. Are you interested in selling? And by the way, we have cash. So let's go into it. Now to find that property, you have to take the name of the descendant, which is Evelyn Hennison. All right. Then you're going to go to this place. It's called MD Land Rec. Let me put it in for you guys. It's called MD Land Rec. When you go to MD Land Rec, you're going to be looking for this. You're going to click it. Then, guys, you want to make sure you go to the right county. We're in Baltimore County. Let me just verify what county we're in. Baltimore County, right? So we're going to go to MD Land Rec and we're going to click Baltimore County. When you click Baltimore County, we're going to go to individual search and then you're going to come over here. So when you come over here, this will be the column for the last name, and this will be the column for the first name. You're going to put that information, then you're going to click search, and you see it pops right up. In some cases, more than one name will pop up. 30 names could pop up. But I'm gonna show you how I get to the bottom of that. So we can tell right here that that's it. This is pretty much it right here. This is what we're looking for. And notice that the date it was recorded is back in 2017, 12/13, just before Christmas, 12/13/2017, right? So if you go to the estates, you'll notice that the estate was opened in 2017, right? So what I like to do is when I'm kind of like trying to narrow down what deed I am to look up, I like to make sure that I look at the when the estate was opened, and also when the date it was recorded. you know Generally it's going to be in the same year or around that same time. It may be 6 or maybe even 7 months after that person has passed away, but this is in the same year. We know that this is it, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. Oh, one more thing, you'll also notice that over here it says Smith. It says AD 2511 Smith Avenue. Well, that looks like an address because it is. Sometimes it may look like this though, just a bunch of numbers and letters all together. But this is an actual address. I'm gonna click on it to go to the deed, which I did right now. But I'm gonna show you how to verify if it's an address. So what you want to do is when you get inside, actually, when you get inside, you can tell in this first paragraph it says, the personal representative, which is Lawrence J. Bernard, and Lawrence J. Bernard actually happens to be the personal representative. So we know that this is the right space. We know we're in the right space. Um, so he's the party of the first thing. You got Aline Hennison, Randy Adler, Sharon Bloom, and Shannon Cornblack. These are the parties of the second. So pretty much what this deed is saying is that this person, which is the personal representative, has transferred the property to these people right here, which are the heirs of that estate. Now, what you're going to be looking for to find the property and to make sure that the property is their property in the estate, you're going to be looking for a page that looks just like this or very similar. And then you're going to scroll down to where it says location/address of property being conveyed. And you'll see that it says 2511 Smith Avenue. So we know that 2511 Smith Avenue is the actual property that's being held on to by the estate, or that's being controlled by the estate. So what you want to do is you want to go to SDAT, and we're going to go to Baltimore County. Remember, because the state is in Baltimore County. So go to Baltimore County and street address for the method. Hit continue. And then street number, we're going to do 2511. And then we're going to do Smith. That's it. Hit next. See what happens. And boom. Aline Hennison. Doesn't that name sound familiar? Randy Adler. Doesn't that name sound familiar? ETAL means and others. That just means that there's more than these two people. There's more than one person that's on the deed for this property. So you see that the premises address and the mailing address is the same. So I think it's safe for us to say, well, hey, look, the property address for this estate actually is this 2511. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in. And the way I got it set up is once you put it in, this little screen will pop up right here. You click that and it'll actually give us a map. And let's check that map real quick. So now we're checking the map. This is the address, and we actually can physically look at the property, right? So I think that's so cool. So we're looking at the property. We're looking at the area. Looks like a nice area, nice property. All right, so that's the property, and that's the area. So remember, we're in Baltimore County. The type of the property we're seeing is detached single family, right? So now we got to finish filling out this paperwork. We're at personal rep, so I'm going to go back to my estate search, and the personal rep is Mr. Lawrence J. Bernard. So I'm just going to copy that and just put it in, paste it, and then it's saying the personal rep's mailing address. So the personal rep's mailing address is actually right here. Now this right here, I can tell right now that from my experience, this is an attorney's office. So I'm not going to include this with the address, but I am going to take this and copy it and put it in as the mailing address. And then if I want to if I want to find his contact number, because I know for a fact this is an attorney, I'm just going to take his whole address. I'm just going to put it in Google and see what happens. And a number should pop up. And of course it does. So this is the address of the attorney right here. This is his address. This is his phone number, right? So I'm just going to take his phone number and I'm going to put that in, use that as a contact number for him. Okay. I'm not going to worry about his email. But if you see right here where it says attorney, this happens to be the attorney that's handling this probate. So I'm going to take his information too, because I could use that information. So the attorney name, this is the attorney's name right there, and then the attorney's address. I'm just going to take his address. No big deal. Copy. And then I'm just going to go here. Attorney's address. All right. And then because I know that's an attorney, I'm just going to put his information in Google, because we know attorneys have their information listed. You know, we know they have that information listed. 300 2010 Corbin. And of course it is. See, this is his information right here. So I'm just going to take his number and put it in Podio. Attorney contact information. I could probably even go for his email address, but I'm gonna skip that because I don't want to keep this video so long. Um, and we know the assessment, an assessment value of this property, it's over 300K. I know that because I'm looking at it right here. So I'll just go here and I'll just put assessment value is over that, and it wouldn't allow me because those dots are in there. So I'll just take those dots out. When you're putting this in, you can't put in any extra. You can't put in any extra characters, just numbers. So I'll put that in right there. That goes right there. Why is that doing? Okay. Okay. Hold on for a second. All right. So you'll put the number right there. Um, Also, another thing to do, what you can do, and I like to put that in my notes column. Now we know that on Maryland Land Rec, we know that we have heirs, right? And we know all the heirs um, are located, at the property, or they may not be. Um, However, we know that these heirs and the mailing addresses are the same. So what I do is I like to take the heirs and I'll put them in. I'll put them in my notes. This is Eileen Henderson, and then you got Randy, Rand Adler, Susan Kornblatt, and there's another one, Sharon Bloom. So we got Sharon, Sharon Bloom, Sharon Bloom, which is, we're gonna put heirs to the estate, heirs, heirs to the estate. Also, now we know that Eileen Henderson, we know that their address is at 25 Smith Avenue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can get a name. So now I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna put that information in here, Eileen Henderson, and I'm gonna put the address in Baltimore City and see if I can get a number. Baltimore MD. So we got that. See if I can get a number. And guess what? We got a number. And we know that that's the person because the address is 2511 Smith Avenue. So this is what I do, guys. I take that information and I copy it. I copy that information and I put it in my notes. Because not only can I send mail to that address, I can now call Mrs. Mrs. Henderson, Mrs. Eileen Henderson contact info. Right. So now I can actually call her. So guys, oh, one more thing. X that out. So one more thing, guys. I can actually save it. Oh, this auto save. But normally what happens is there's a save button over here. It says save new lead. You want to click that and save it. You want to make sure you do that. But this is information. This is information that this is how you take a probate. You get the leads, pull that information from the system, and then put it into Podio. This is an advanced strategy. If you have any questions or any concerns, please contact your manager or leave a question or comment in the boxing, the comment section, and we'll get back in contact with you as soon as we can. Thanks a lot.